Right now, we are in the Chevy Equinox EV, and we're gonna test out their cool feature, the Super Cruise, and see how good it is compared to Tesla's. So all I have to do is press this button here, green light comes on, hands-free right now, and then that, oh my, it's hugging that left lane. Now will it change lanes for me? Let's find out. I'm gonna go ahead and switch. Auto lane change, looking for an opening. Oh, it's changing on its own? Nice, auto lane change. So far, so good. I am on a straight road, so I mean, it's not gonna be the hardest. That's pretty much the extent of it. The Super Cruise is like Tesla's basic autopilot, where it stays in the lane. Let's see what it's gonna do. Even I can't really tell where the lanes are. Take vehicle control, can't find lane lines, but then it found it again instantly. All right, not bad, not bad. The Super Cruise is pretty super. Everyone keeps saying that the Tesla range is so inaccurate. So I'm going on a road trip to see how accurate is the range versus the Equinox. And also how hard or easy is it to charge the Chevy Equinox EV. I started this trip with 145 miles and right now I'm driving to a Tesla supercharger 77 miles away. Unfortunately, the Equinox isn't the fastest. 150 kilowatt max, 70 miles in 10 minutes. Considering how the Teslas can go 250 kilowatts, it's a little disappointing. But the weird thing is their GMC Denali can reach much higher speeds. So I don't know why they didn't just put it all together in one. Made it to the supercharger. I have 58 miles left on the Chevy. So that's not really too accurate, but the percentage wise, it says I'll arrive with 17%. I ended up arriving with 19%. Once I inputted my vehicle detail information, it says I could charge. There's 6 available. Charge here. Press start charging. Let's go and plug it in. Your vehicle is not able to charge at supercharger at this time. It's not charging. This is what I was afraid of. It says I could charge here. It's Tesla supercharger, connecting to charger. Please work. Still connecting to charger. Charge cord connected, but it's not charging. This is why it's so stressful. I'm gonna try a different one and see if that's gonna help, because 3D is not the business. Stressed. Charge station not sending power. Try a different cord. Oh, it's working! Fast charging! Gaining 76 miles, and oh my, that is nothing. So I mean, in like 10 minutes, I only gained like 3 or 4%. Very, very bad, unfortunately. Is it the Tesla's fault or is it the Chevy fault? So we're gonna go ahead and try charging at EVgo and see if that's gonna increase the charging speeds. I'm trying to find an EVgo. First off, they're faster charging. They only have like one that works. Everything is offline, 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 busy. They're supposed to have more, but they're all broken. And we're in San Diego, so it's not like we're in some boondock area in the middle of nowhere. We're in San Diego in a nice, like, normal area. All right, so we made it to the EVgo. Okay, plugged in, start charging. Please work, please. Yes, way better, look at that. This is what I'm talking about. So it was an issue with the Tesla supercharger and the Equinox not talking to each other, and not the Equinox itself, thank goodness. See, this is how it's supposed to be. 465 miles an hour, but we're maxing out at 130, unfortunately, which isn't the best. Right now we're at 50%. Or 139 miles. We're gonna arrive with 12% is what it says, which is equivalent to 35.2 miles. So we arrive with 14% or 38 miles, which is way more than what they estimated. They tell you on the screen which stalls are out of order. Let's see how hard or easy it is to charge and what our charge rate is. And it's as easy as, boom, boom, boom. It was so easy. We reached 250 kilowatts of speed. We can reach 14 to 80% in 25 minutes, so not even that bad at all. So just like the Equinox, the navigation system was very accurate. I arrived with the same amount or even more percentage than it said I would. However, when you compare like miles to miles, like this place was 77 miles away and we arrived with 38 miles, that itself isn't accurate, but that's just how EVs are. You just have to listen to the navigation screen. As long as you listen to that, you'll be fine. You don't have to worry. Because there's so many factors, how you drive, climate, wind, preconditioning, that affects the energy in your battery pack. But let's talk about the power, right? This thing, a little disappointing. I got the RS trim, which is their top of the line trim, the fastest trim. I'm getting 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. Doesn't feel nearly as good as the Model Y. The Model Y is just punchier. It feels like it's much faster, even though there's not that big of a difference. I mean, yeah, there's the rear-wheel drive Tesla Model Y, 0 to 60 in 6.5 seconds. Compare that to the front-wheel drive Equinox EV, which is 7.7. But driving this thing on a road trip, I have to say, comfort is great. The suspension's super smooth. It absorbs all the bumps. It feels very, very good compared to my 2021 Tesla Model Y. However, the caveat is that because it's more comfortable, my handling isn't as good. When I'm in curves and turns, Doesn't feel like I can control the car as well as I can with the Model Y. Now I've been driving the 2025 Equinox EV for about a week now, sport mode all the way. You can control the steering feel, which is awesome. You can control the brake feel, and the brakes are so sensitive and strong. On sport mode, fake engine sound. You can turn everything off though. My mode, you can customize everything. I love the center display. I love how I could change it up. If I want to just see the maps here, I could just get a nice map view. Now I have to admit, the RS model I have, it looks pretty sexy. I mean, it has a nice carbon fiber grille in the front. You got the front camera. You can get a package where this actually lights up. You have a bright LED running bar that spans across the entire thing, and it shows also if it's charging. In the backside, it looks beautiful as well. You know it's an electric car because they made the E blue, which is cool. Not only do you have the gloss black and the carbon fiber randomly, like even the carbon fiber here too, I just noticed, it looks so good. They did a good job with the exterior of the Equinox EV. The headlights are actually integrated at the bottom over here. So just the top is a daytime running light bar. You got the headlights here. You even have air vents for the engine, or is there an engine? Come here, I'll show you real quick. You just pull on here twice. Look, what is this, a Frankfurter? Looks like it even has like a timing chain in here. Everything's exposed, but yeah, this is a completely unusable frunk. Compared to the Tesla Model Y that has a pretty good sized frunk. Now from the outside, this honestly doesn't feel like an SUV. It's really, really low to the ground. It seems very, very small, like a compact SUV. But surprisingly, it's like a little bit bigger than the Tesla Model Y, length, width, and height-wise, by like an inch. So it's pretty much almost the same size, but it doesn't feel like the same size. It feels so much smaller. The one weird thing is I wish they put the trunk button like here. It's all the way at the bottom, so a tall person like me has to come all the way down here. It only has 52.7 cubic feet of storage space compared to the Model Y with a whopping 72. So no buttons here to put the seat down, but luckily it's really close. You could do it from here. No storage space here. You get a little bit of storage space on the right-hand side. And they do have like a double parcel shelf. We could put one shelf here and they have another one. So you could do like 2 storage parcel shelf. I don't know what the point of that is, but it is kind of nice that they have all these options. Luckily, they do have a sub-trunk space. While it's not the biggest sub-trunk space, at least they have it. Compared to the Model Y definitely has way more storage space. So I'm 6'3". My sternum is pretty much up here. So if I'm coming in the second row, I really gotta bend in. But once I'm in, I surprisingly have a good amount of space. They do have a moonroof option, so like a dual moonroof, so that is nice. I highly recommend it because it just feels so much more cramped and just darker without it. But this is what you get, a $35,000 interior. It's not bad at all. The seats feel very comfortable. It doesn't feel like fake cloth. It's like made of this new text, like fake leather. Cup holders in the center. This goes up as well. The seats do not recline, so they are fixed. You have seat heaters at least on the outer edges and 2 USB-C ports, so that's nice. For the price, I think it's a great interior. Plastic, some gloss black here, and a very small center area here as well. Some cup holders. And I know a lot of people out there, you need buttons, right? They covered all the important stuff. You have buttons for the climate, you have knobs, you also have a knob for the volume, which I'm not too big of a fan of. I wish it was somewhere else, but I see why, because it can't be here. But it would have been so much nicer to have one center screen, no button here, and it wouldn't be confusing. You have a gear shifter, very similar to Tesla, but you have to kind of bring it towards you to bring it up and down. Push to park. You have a paddle shifter to control the regen braking. You have buttons behind the steering wheel to control like the volume and stuff. It makes sense because when you're driving, you want to be able to do that instead of having to go like this. But you even have more buttons on this side. The trunk button, you have the auto lane change, the parking brake. Overall, it's not too bad of an interior, and the buttons are manageable and you get used to it. They also have a nice little holder here if you have your cell phone, and 2 USB-C ports. Now this is the one I'm having a little bit trouble with. They said it's a wireless charging pad here. However, I have not gotten it to work ever. And I looked on the forums, they said it's a little finicky. It works when it wants to work. It doesn't work when it doesn't want to work. But there definitely is wireless charging in the new models. And because we have the RS model, we get hints of red, which is nice. You have like a red design here. The air vents are red. These are all air vents too. You can adjust it. Nice manual air vents, so not digital. Red stitching here as well. It's a nice sporty interior for the vehicle, even though it doesn't go that fast. What I do love though is that you get tons of storage down here. There's so much storage to put stuff. Very well thought out. I do love that. You even have a glove box here, which is awesome. At night, you have some RGB lighting. Comes in through here, comes in through here. Feels premium without that premium cost, which is really awesome. The Model Y has a very simple interior, heated front and side rear seats, lots of room in the rear thanks to the huge one-piece glass roof. USB-C ports, wireless charging, and 0 button, as it's all done on the screen with a throw-up of information, which you're either gonna love or you're just gonna hate it. All the car manufacturers are doing this like double screen thing. So I have a 17.7-inch screen, touch screen here. You also have an awesome 11-inch screen here as well. And this is nice because it gives you all the information you need. No heads-up display, unfortunately, which is totally fine. Overall, it's really, really nice. And I love how responsive the screen is here. They have Google and Alexa as well. Unfortunately, there's no Apple CarPlay in any more of the GM cars. They're just getting rid of it. I'm not sure why. So that's why they're now integrating other stuff. You have quick controls here, which is cool, all customizable. So you can control the one pedal driving, you can set the charge limit, and at the press of a button, you can do a split screen mode. So you could have like music on one side and then this on the other side. You can connect your Google account so it all syncs, which is perfect. Music-wise, they have Bluetooth, they have Sirius XM. You can even use a USB-C, which is awesome. Over here is where the charging is. You can set charge limits. You can create a charging schedule, and it shows all the chargers nearby, which is kind of weird. I wish they just told you what the tire pressure is. So in order to know the tire pressure, you have to click each one, which is kind of funny. Energy info as well, so at least they're giving you info as far as energy is concerned as well. Here's the auto park assist. If you want to pop up the climate and see more options, you can do that as well. But again, you can do all that here. You have the camera, which is nice to see. You got a 360 panoramic view camera, and you have the settings here, but then you have more settings. So there's a whole nother section of settings, and this is just very confusing. You have another vehicle settings. So settings within settings. I think my 2018 Lexus has a very similar UI. It's a similar UI that all the big manufacturers have. What's really annoying is that the charge port's located in the front left. I wish they put it where it should be, in the back left. I mean, how hard is it? Even their GMC Sierra Denali EV is in the back left. And they decided to go again with CCS charging, a 2025 model, but something to keep in mind, you are gonna need an adapter. Cost, right? This model, if you were to go to a dealer, probably around $45,000 because it's like fully loaded. However, let's talk about it. Let's talk about my favorite word, the stealerships. The beauty with this car is that everything is made in the USA. Batteries are made in the USA, so it qualifies for the full $7,500 tax credit while it's still here. You can get 319 miles of range for a front wheel drive vehicle for only $35,000. Once you get those dual motors, the price does increase right around $40,000. And you do get slightly less range at 309 miles. But if you wanted to max out with all the options, it's gonna be almost $50,000 for the Equinox EV. The cheapest Model Y you can get is a rear-wheel drive. It does have a little bit more miles, 337 miles, but it starts at $45,000, which is pretty expensive. We're gonna talk about why I'm ready to return the Equinox EV. It's not the power, it's not the ride comfort. Those things are great. Daily driving, I think it's totally fine. Now, I'm not an Elon fanboy. Yes, I have Teslas, but Teslas aren't paying me to say any of this stuff. It's just because I like the car myself. But I'm a tech guy. And the one thing I realized is that Tesla, Rivian, and Lucid, they're software companies trying to go into the automotive field, which is why a lot of times maybe their build quality isn't the best and they're having a little problems with production. Whereas the legacy automakers, GMC, Kia, all these big, huge brands, they're automotive companies trying to get into software. So that's why their software is always just so ancient and something that I don't really like. For instance, yes, we have a Chevy app for our phone finally, which is great. And it's not too bad. It has some features. You can start, stop the car, turn the alarm on, honk the horn, but you cannot use your phone as a key. So you still have to carry around a key fob everywhere you go. Overall, you just have to pick your poison and what you prefer. I think the Equinox EV is a great starter EV for anyone who's trying to go into electric vehicles because it feels like you're driving a gas car.